Okay. Good afternoon, friends, family, folks. You guys know how it is. All right. So this is the weekly market review with none other than Adetola Freeman. You guys already know how we do it. So we're gonna take a few minutes to just wait for a couple more of our guys to join. All right. So just take about 3, 4 minutes. Get a lot more people to step into the stream. All right, and then once they do, we're going to be able to go on the journey together. Permit me to say it's lovely seeing you guys. I'm really excited to share this couple of minutes with you guys once again. Don't forget next week Monday. All right, this general stream will not be holding on this YouTube channel. All right, by Monday, the stream is only going to be holding for the VIPs, or those who are VIP clients of FBS. All right, and the way to become a VIP client is to ensure that you have nothing less than $500 capital in your trading account. All right, once that is done, trust me, you are already a part of the VIP community. All right, so you'll be added to um, that inner circle, all right, you'll be added to that inner circle, that closed door, community where I'm going to be interacting with you guys next week, Monday, asking questions. We just get to rub minds together. You tell me what you're seeing, I'll tell you what I'm seeing, and then we take that move together. All right, we take that move together. So without further ado, I think we have about 30 of us on the call already. So we're going to get started. All right. So welcome, guys. First things first, I want to share something interesting with you guys. All right. I want to, as you guys already know, sessions like this, where we always do a bit of teaching, a bit of analysis, a bit of fun and comedy and all of that. All right. So I want to start off today with a small teaching. All right. Something little that I think I really need to share with you guys. Right. So I want to ask a quick question. How many of you have heard of or you've learned how to trade a double break of structure before? All right. You know what the double break of structure is and how to trade it. If you're such, please drop a reaction in the chat box. All right. Let me know how many of you are familiar with that. All right. Just drop a reaction. Yeah, Mr. Caleb. Good afternoon. You're welcome. All right. You're not familiar with it, okay? Who else? Who else? If you're familiar with it, drop an emoji. If you're not, just type no in the chat box because that's where we're going to be starting from today. I want to show you how that is done, all right, and teach you how you can also begin to add that particular concept, all right, to your trading approach. Yeah, Mr. Nathaniel, good afternoon. How you doing? All right, Tabang, you don't know how to trade double break or structure. Yes, Mr. Nathaniel, I'm very well, thank you. And you? Ernest doesn't know. Samuel doesn't know. All right, so that's where we're going to start from today. All right, and I need you guys to pay very close attention to what I'm going to be sharing with you today. All right. So, I want you to imagine that you're driving on the road. All right. There's a car right before you or right in front of you, and then you're approaching an intersection. Right. So you're driving straight. There's a car in front of you. You're approaching an intersection. Where you're about to enter a major road. All right. And the road can either go right or left. Now, the interesting thing at this point is that you want to be sure where the car in front of you is going. All right, because that's going to determine how you make your move or navigate how you leave that road to join the next road. All right, so what usually happens is that, or what is supposed to happen, is that the person driving in front of you is supposed to turn on the indicator light, all right, signifying whichever direction they want to go. All right, and after they turn on the indicator light, you actually want to see that they start to move gradually in that direction. All right, so that's the same thing that happens in the market. All right, Jose, good afternoon. Top Stars Kampala, you're welcome. So when you're in the market, all right, and the market is about to take a turn, either bullish or bearish, all right, I want you to picture and imagine that there are actually indicator lights that come on in the market. All right, I want you to picture it like that, that there are indicator lights that come up in the market and show you, all right, or reveal to you what exactly is on the mind of the market. All right, and then once that is done, you start to observe market moving in that direction. So what I'm going to be sharing with you today before we go into the analysis, all right, is what I call entry confirmation techniques. All right. So instead of ETC, what we're looking at today is ECT, entry confirmation techniques. You get that? If you understood that or you heard me correctly, I need you to type in the chat box ECT, not ETC. All right, just type it in the chat box. Belu Ade, you're welcome. Baby Michael, you're welcome. Mendoza, you want us to take a look at gold? We definitely will. We usually take a look at gold. All right, so just relax. We'll get there. Okay. ECT, good. Mr. Jala, good. Thank you. This is me. This is good. That's good. That's good. That's good. ECT. All right. ECT. That's what we're typing. ECT. All right, ECT. So that's what we're talking about. Entry confirmation techniques. All right. And the first thing you want to be able to do when we talk about entry confirmation techniques is you want to know first what is the overall direction of the market. All right. Because in the market, the way you approach an intersection, all right, is the same way in the market. There are junctions that price can get to, all right, price junctions. And those junctions are referred to as, let me type that out. They're referred to as points of interest, all right? Points of interest. So what we do with the ECT is that we want to see what happens when price gets to our point of interest. All right, so when we have a point of interest, price gets to our point of interest, we want to find out what will price do next. Is it going to turn left and become bearish, or is it going to turn right and then become bullish? All right, so that is the big question we're going to be answering right about now. Okay, so if you're happy and you know, type a hey, EH. All right, if you're happy and you know, but if you're not, then don't worry. I'm sure that you'll be happy before the end of the session. So what we want to do is know how to mark out your point of interest. So to make that easier, let me just do this. All right, there are different types of points of interest. All right, so I'm just going to list some of them right here. Some of them I will teach. Some of them you would have to do the research on to go research on them yourself. All right. Yeah. First of all, I think we have pivots. All right, we have pivots. Let me see. Can I reduce the size? Yeah. All right. First of all, we have pivots. Then we have imbalance or fair value gaps. All right. Then next we have oscillating regions. All right. We have other blocks. All right. We have other blocks and so many others. All right. You can also use support and resistance, whatever. All right. But this is where I'm going. When price gets to our point of interest, all right, ECT, or our entry confirmation techniques, is what lets us know what price wants to do from that zone. All right. It lets us know whether price is intending to break through. All right. Price is intending to break through that pivot zone. All right. Break through that imbalance, break through that point of interest, or price is going to get rejected from that point of interest and there would be a reversal. All right. So that's what we want to start with today. Okay. So if you're excited, you want to learn this, please just drop an emoji in the chat box. Let me know that you guys are flowing with me and you're actually interested in this discussion. Oshualale Sheriff, yes, we'll talk about that gradually. All right, just give me, even if not today, all right, over time we'll get to talk about it. So just drop a fire emoji in the chat box. Let me know that you guys are with me. All right, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, okay, since Mr. Shualale Sheriff already asked, how do I mark pivot zones? All right, I'm going to show you 2 ways to mark out pivot zones. Let me start from the 4 hours time frame. I'm going to zoom in. All right. Thank you so much, Augustine. So first of all, you can use your regular candlestick pattern, candlestick chart. All right, and your pivot zone is simply an area where, maybe I should zoom in and show you that first. All right, an area where price has done this. All right, price has touched that area from beneath. All right, and has also touched it from above. All right, and thank you so much, Adil. You get it. So this becomes our pivot. Why? Because it's like a fulcrum. It's like a fulcrum. So price is touching it from below. Price has also reacted to it from above. All right, do you get it? So that's what we want to do. So when I draw my pivot line, all right, or my pivot zone on the 4 hours time frame, this looks like a pivot. All right, this looks like a pivot zone. You can see it was tested here, tested here. All right. So if I had drawn this pivot at this point, all right, you see that the next time price returned to it, what happened? It dropped again. All right. Another pivot zone would be this. Now, note that this is based on the candlestick chart. All right. If you're using the candlestick chart to draw out your pivot zone, this is what you would have. All right. The alternative to that is to come. All right. I'm going to have to clear this. Hold on. All right, the alternative to that is to use the line chart, which is what you guys see me use a lot of times. All right, and on the line chart, you can either use the daily time frame, the 4 hours time frame, 1 hour time frame, but ensure that the time frame you use for your ECT, all right, is lower than the time frame you use for your POI. All right, it makes a lot more sense that way. You get to see it. So if I just move my horizontal line around, you see that this particular price point, price tested it here, 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 and then here. All right. So we see that that is a clear pivot. All right. Then I can move another trend, another horizontal line. All right. And then you see, yes, this is a pivot. Price has tested it here, here, as well as this. All right. Then this looks like another pivot. So I think that's enough for now. Then you come back to the candlestick chart, all right, and then what you want to do is you go to the lower time frames to find your ECT, your entry confirmation technique, all right, and that is why I said we're going to be talking about the double break of structure, all right, as a powerful ECT technique, all right, as a powerful entry confirmation technique. So using that, we'll know that we have an entry supposedly somewhere around here. Right, there should be an entry here that would push the US dollar bullish. All right, but don't take my word for it. We're going to do the analysis and see whether or not we are correct. All right, so just relax. Okay, guys, just relax. So first things first, what does the double break of structure look like? The double break of structure looks like this. All right, so let's say price was bearish. All right, price was bearish this way. All right, we had a bearish trend. All right, this is the bearish trend here. And then after that was, that new low, that lower low was created. Price broke above the previous high that created this low. All right. Let me use this. All right, price broke above this high. Let me see if I can enlarge it for those who are using the small screen. All right. So price broke above the previous high at this point. Okay, so what exactly is the double break of structure? The double break of structure is simply a scenario or a phenomenon where after price has created this new higher high, remember we're coming in a bearish trend, which is lower highs, lower lows, all right? And then we had our first higher high following the change or the shift in market structure. So we had our first higher high, and then we had the new higher high that also broke above the previous high. So we're seeing that this high that broke the previous high has also been broken. So now we have two highs broken. What happens next? Then we expect price to return back to the demand zone down here. All right. Fill up whatever imbalance is along that road. Use this as an inducement, and then this happens. You might want to screenshot this pattern, all right, because you just may never know when it will save your life. All right, so that is the pattern. All right, this is what is called the double break of structure. What are the double break of structure? All right, that's number one. This is number two. All right, that's why it's called a double break of structure. Sorry, this is number one. This is number two. The number one was the one that changed our perception from lower highs, lower lows. All right, changed it for the very first time to lower low, higher high. All right, so you see that what we had here was lower, this was a lower low, all right, but we now have a higher high. And then after the higher high, we had a higher low. All right, so what we expect next is that if there is a higher high following that, we can enter our trade from here. So that is a very simple ECT. It's a very simple entry confirmation technique. All right. If you learn that, you're definitely going to have better trading experiences. I can promise you that. Before we conclude on whether I am correct or not, all right, I want to show you a practical example from Euro USD chart. Here we can see that the stochastics is in the overbought region. Remember we talked about, when we're talking about our confirmations here, or our points of interest, we talked about oscillating regions, which describes overbought, oversold, and the others. All right. So when you come over here, this was already in our overbought region. All right. And usually when price is in the overbought region, what do we expect? We expect a reversal. Okay. Are you guys with me? So how do I find my ECT here? You go to the 15 minutes, all right, or any other time frame. And what you want to do is, this is the region we're talking about. All right. This was the previous low. And you see the previous low. And you can see that price broke below the previous low. And then we had the second break of structure. All right. Which completed our double break of structure. Immediately that was done, what happened? Price came back to this supply zone, all right, this supply order block. And that became our entry for a sell. That became our entry for a sell. Because now we've seen confirmation of a bearish trend. Let me zoom into that so you guys will see it better. So this was the double break of structure. All right, remember price was, the previous high was broken at this point. All right, so this low broke above the previous high, only for it to also get broken further. All right, so we broke the previous low, then we broke another low again, and then price came into our demand zone, and what do we have? We got the sell. And if you had entered this kind of a trade, all right, all the way down here, we're talking about 80 pips. All right, 80 pips just by using the oscillation zones, all right, or the oscillating regions and your ECT. All right, so the next time someone tells you overbought, oversold does not work, you can literally look them in the face and laugh at their ignorance. So you can see this was another region where we had, on the 4 hours time frame, Euro USD was oversold. All right, meaning that we're expecting price to reverse and get bullish. What do? We go to the lower time frames for our ECT. All right, and our ECT, like I said, is our entry confirmation technique. All right. And if you look at this, let me do from the 15 minutes time frame. If you look at this, you realize that this was the low. All right, this was the previous high that broke structure. All right, this previous high was what pushed price beyond this low. All right, this high pushed price to break this low. All right, and immediately after that, this high was taken out, was broken. All right, that becomes our first break of structure. Then we had our second break of structure, which completed the double break of structure. All right, and then what happened next? Price came back into this demand zone. All right, came back to our demand zone and did what? It is currently buying. So you realize that the current move on Euro USD, all right, was motivated by a double break of structure from within an oscillating region. All right, a double break of structure from right within an oscillating region. Do you guys get it? All right, please, I need to know that I'm not being so technical, all right, and you guys are understanding what I'm teaching. So if you're getting it, please drop a fire emoji once more in the chat box. Let me know that you guys are in the spirit. Keep them coming, keep them coming. Frame to the 4 hours time frame. You get it? I'm sticking between the 30 minutes time frame and the 4 hours time frame. That's where I want to be. If I'm picking my oscillating zone or my POI on the daily time frame. You guys get it now? All right. So yeah, with those few words of mine, I want to believe that you guys have gotten some valuable insights for the day. So moving forward, let us do our weekly market review. Miss Esther Babatunde, you have a question. All right, I'm going to take just your question, all right? But all subsequent questions will need to be sent to the VIP channel, all right? There's a VIP community that we're creating for some, for our clients that have more than $500 in their trading account, all right? So if you're here, you have more than $500 in your trading account, you will be added to a closed door community, all right? And in that community, we are going to be able to interact. All right, you ask me questions. It's more like a Zoom conversation. All right, you can unmute your mic, ask your questions, get my response real time. All right, I'll answer your questions real time. So all questions and inquiries are going to be better thrown. All right, in that community because I'm going to be actively engaged with them. All right. So my first session with that community is going to be happening next week Monday by 2 p.m. All right. So if you don't see me here next week, Monday, just know that I am in that community with my VIP. All right. And that's where I'm going to be spending next week, Monday. Once you have more than $500 funded in your account, you should already be added. All right. But if you don't get added, you can just text me. Text me on Instagram, Adetola Freeman. All right. The Adetola Freeman on Instagram. And trust me, I'm going to make efforts to connect you with the admins of the community so that they can add you to that community. Is that okay? All right, fantastic. So, please relax now. Please relax. Esther Babatunde, I'm sorry I can't add you right now, all right, because like I said, I'm not the only admin in that community, all right. So, if you reach out to me, it will be easier for me to send your details to them so that they can check if you qualify to be in that community, all right, and then that works. I have blocked over 1,000 traders on Telegram. I don't think so. That's not true. Yeah, Tembe William, you're welcome. All right, so guys, let's begin with the analysis. So we're going to just run through, all right, because we spent the last about 30 minutes teaching. All right, so we're going to start with our majors as usual: EU, GU, AU, then gold. All right, then thereafter we can take maybe 2 or 3 commodity requests. So first of all, this is Euro USD on the daily time frame. All right, you can see that the stochastics has not actually entered into our oscillating region. All right, so we need to chill a bit so we can check if there are other confirmations like our pivot zones and the likes. Okay, let's see. Yes, that looks like a pivot region. That looks like a pretty cool pivot zone. So what do we want to do? We want to go to the lower time frame and check for a demand or supply zone within of that has very close proximity to that area. Which for me right now looks like this. All right. Now, does that mean that it's good enough for me to enter this trade? Maybe not exactly. All right. And the reason why is because I want to kind of plot a trend line here. All right, plot a trend line here. Go to the 1 hour time frame. The oscillating region is simply overbought, oversold. If you don't get it, you can simply rewind the stream, all right? Or once we're done with the stream, you can simply go over it as many times as you may need to. All right, so let me keep this as my oscillating region. Yes, I think I can work with this as my oscillating region. And then I'm waiting for price to come around the 76% of the Fibonacci retracement. All right, come this way. And then I can probably go search for my ECT on the lower time frames before I enter this trade. All right, so that's Euro USD. I think that Euro USD is going to be bearish. All right, but like I said, I am not going to blindly take an entry right now. All right, because I want to see price get to that region. All right, and then once price gets to that region, it becomes more meaningful for me. All right, if I'm able to see price get there, and then I say, okay, where are my entry confirmations around the zone? You guys get it? All right, beautiful. So it's actually as simple as that. All right, you just need to be able to pay attention to your entry confirmations. Price gets to your point of interest. That's not an indication that it's time to move. All right, price gets to your point of interest. If you want to be a smart money trader that is actually smart in the real sense, all right, you need to check for your entry confirmations, or at least have something that serves for you as an entry confirmation technique. All right, so that's Euro USD. Up next, I think we'll do GBP USD. So let's start with the daily time frame. Want to go to the line chart, figure out where our pivots are. All right, that looks like pivot number one. This looks like pivot number two. All right, so that will be our pivot zone. All right, we can switch over now to candlestick chart. Prince of Peace, you're welcome. Good afternoon. All right, we can switch over now to the candlestick chart, and then we go to the lower time frame and check where's our point of interest around here. The demand zone, a supply zone, or what exactly do we have there? Okay, I think we can just work with the oscillating zone. Come to maybe 30 minutes. All right. For those of you who would like to join the VIP, but you do not have an FBS account at the moment, all right, I'm simply going to say this right now. Click the link in the description in the chat box right now. Create your FBS account. Ensure that you have more than $500 funded. All right. And trust me, you are going to be having direct access to me. All right. No middleman. Welcome, my friend. So I think we have our supply zone here. All right. So for GU, if we don't get that reversal from here, you can see that this is even still overbought here too. All right. So for GU, I think we should be seeing the reversal from here. All right. I know someone wants to ask me on what basis. Remember, I just showed you the double break of structure. So check this out. All right. This was the previous low, all right, that pushed price to break above this high. All right. So we had our first break of structure. Then we had our second break of structure. Then what did I say? When you have a double break of structure like this, you map out the demand or supply zone responsible, all right, because price is going to come back there certainly. All right, you can see that price already reacted from that zone the first time. So we want to see now if price is going to react from there a second time and give us this. All right. So that's what we're waiting for on GBP USD. All right, is that good? Let me know in the chat box if you guys have gotten that much. Okay. Let me know, guys. Let me know, guys. I need to see your comments. All right, beautiful. All right, so I think we're supposed to get there should be PMI release in about 10 minutes. All right, so we'll be here to see how that plays out. All right, but in the meantime, thank you, Prince of Peace, for pointing my attention to that. So we'll just wait to see how the news plays out with our analysis. All right, Mr. Kudus Ajala, some other types of ETCs that you could use. You can use candlestick patterns. Some people do. All right, some people use harmonic patterns. All right, you can use Elliott's wave. All right, you can use Elliott's wave concept. You can use Wyckoff schematics. All right, you can use Wyckoff schematics. You can also use break of structure, break of trend line. You can use indicators. All right, you can use maybe RSI, whatever. You can use different indicators. But the most important thing is to ensure that there's a higher time frame sentiment that is getting confirmed by the lower time frame confirmation. Does that click? Let me know if that clicks. Let me know if that clicks so we can move on. All right, beautiful. So right now, like I said, PMI is in about 10 minutes or less than 10 minutes. All right, so if PMI comes out, it could definitely impact what we're getting to see here. All right, it could invalidate this setup. All right, but it doesn't mean that that setup being invalidated as invalidated our pivot zone. All right. So let's go on to gold. To be honest, all right, Ms. Esther, it may not be compulsory for price to return to your demand or supply, but it is compulsory for you to wait for price at the demand or supply. All right, because if you don't, and you're saying, oh, it's already caused a double break of structure, I can't wait, you will most likely get kicked out of the market. All right, so it is expedient for you to wait, because like I tell people, patience is a very requisite skill or virtue, all right, when you're trying to become a successful or a profitable trader. Are we together now? All right, so for gold, like I've said a couple of times, gold has gone beyond the projected high. All right, it's created an all-time high, and I've told us a couple of times that the way to address such a situation, all right, is usually by using my Fibonacci expansion tool. All right, because that would map out certain regions that price ought to get to before it reverses. So here, as you can see, price got to the 61.8. It dropped. All right, it dropped a little bit. All right. So let's see where is price heading to now. This is expansion 100. All right, and this is expansion 161.8. All right, so this is our zone where we expect that as price is approaching it, there should be a reaction. But the question is, have we seen a double break of structure yet? No. All right, this is price breaking above the previous high. All right, meaning that we have a low here that caused price to break above that high. And what do we have right now? This is just a single break of structure. All right, this is a single break of structure. We do not yet have a double break of structure. There has not been a second break of structure. All right. And right now, I'm starting to doubt if that would happen. So we do not yet have a clear indication of a sell on gold. All right. However, if you're still bent on selling gold, you may just honestly want to wait for this. All right. You may just honestly want to wait for price to break out of this channel. All right. Because price is currently consolidating and trading within this particular channel. All right. So if you want to get the best out of it, my advice would be wait for price to break and retest that. If you want to sell, you want to wait for price to break below the trend line, all right, and then come back for the retest before you can then finally join in the sell. Does that make sense? Please let me know if that makes sense, all right, so we can move on. And I'll need you guys to suggest two commodities that you would like us to analyze, all right, two commodities you'd like me to take a look at right about now. All right, you can just send that in the comment section. PPI or PMI rather, PMI is in about 3 minutes. All right, so in the next 3 minutes, we'll find out if our supply zones are actually as strong as we think they are. All right, we already have enough commodities. G card, U card, UJ. All right, those three are it for today. All right, this is UJ. This is USD card. Then GBP card. So first of all, what do I notice? This is already in the overbought region. All right, so there's a likelihood of a reversal soon. All right, let's also see, is that an all-time high? Close. All right, it's very close to being an all-time high. So I think what I can do here, not as much. All right, so this is G card 4 hours time frame. And what are we waiting for? This previous high or this current high was created from this low. All right, this was the low that gave us the momentum to break, to break above this previous high. All right, so knowing fully well that this is the point, all right, if we're going to see a double break of structure, we want to see, before we start to sell, all right, I want to see something like this happen. All right, please endeavor to ensure that you draw out that trend line, all right, on your chart if you're going to be trading this as well, because it's going to help you to be able to track exactly where to enter your trade from. Do you get that GBP card, Mr. Kudus? Do you get that? All right, the next one, which is USD card. Where are pivots? All right, that's one. Yep, that looks like two. All right, candlestick chart. This is the demand zone, all right, or the other block. Let me quickly show you guys something. I want to quickly show you guys something that explains further the ECT, all right, the double break of structure ECT we've been talking about. Hold on, let me show you that quickly. So this was the previous low. All right, this was the previous low taken out by oh. All right. Come on. So we had this previous low swept by this. We had this as our previous high. All right. This as our previous high. What happened next? We got a break of structure. All right. And then the second break of structure. All right. And that gave us this. This as our demand zone, this green candle. All right, which was exactly where price returned to. This move came back into it before price shot up. All right. So it's the same thing that we're expecting to happen here. You can see that liquidity was already swept from the low of this candle. All right, and then we have a first break of structure, a second break of structure, which completed the double break of structure. All right, which indicates that right now, price coming into this, all right, into this demand zone, is actually a retest of the double break of the demand zone of a double break of structure? Does that make sense? All right, let's see. EU is dropping, GU is dropping. All right, or at least it seems to be dropping. So I think the PMI is out already. So that's USD card, all right. Come into this demand zone and then we can pop. Why? Because this is a double break of structure that price is coming back to, to clear itself. Enter the demand zone and then react. All right, then the next one, UJ. Did we do UJ? All right, not yet. All right, you can see that UJ is literally coming from a very solid, oscillation region. All right, it was oversold, then it started booming. But there's a supply zone here. How exactly do I know that it's a supply zone? This was the previous low. All right, and we can see that price took out that low, indicating that there was momentum that came in from this high, all right, that pushed prices lower. Cat Lego, I actually trade smart money concept. Pure price action when I want to, and hybrid when I don't want to. All right, so this is the previous supply that pushed price to break this level. So if we're seeing price approaching that supply zone, well, stochastics tells us there's already a bit of a divergence or a convergence rather. All right, there's a bit of a convergence. Probably some trend line fiasco here. Something like that. So what do we do, or what do we want to do? We want to wait for the 1 hour or 4 hours time frame. All right. We want to wait for price to get into the supply zone, which is this, by the way. All right. And then when price gets there, we want to get our ECT before we enter the trade. All right. I want to get our ECT confirmation. All right. I want to get our entry confirmation before we take the trade. All right. Remember what I said. It's one of the ways to ensure that the trades you're taking are very, very safe for your account. Do you guys get it? They communicate or express to us that, yes, this is a safe trade because it's already taken out liquidity, it's already taken out the inducement, and then now it's coming back to a premium, it's coming back to a major zone, all right, so we can trust whatever reaction comes from there. All right, so for me, UJ, I want to see price rise into that supply zone. So that I can sell it all the way back to where it came from. Does that sound good? Do we get it, please, guys? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. I want to see your comments, guys. Please, please drop your comments. Let me be sure that we're good. All right, fantastic. Fantastic. All right, finally, because Miss Esther Babatunde is the first timer on our call, I think this is the first time she's commenting. All right, so I'm just going to take our inquiry about GJ. That will be all. Uh-oh. Previous low already broken. Previous high already broken. So this looks very much like an SBR pattern. All right, so 88%. We're looking at the possibility of price dropping from here, but let me change the template first. Sorry. I'm worried this might not be a strong move. Previous low, previous high. That's interesting. Let's see. All right, all good, all good, all good. Now, let me see what's going on, GJ. All right, for GJ, I think price might be headed that way. All right. Alternatively, I can just use the break out of this consolidation channel. I can just use the break out of that channel for my entry confirmation. All right. Where I literally just wait for price to get here. All right, get to this supply zone, then drop. Then it will probably retest. All right, and then I can sell it to smitherin. Do we get it? All right. Cat Lego is saying on USD JPY 4 hours, you're seeing a fair value gap. Is it going to sell? Well, beyond that fair value gap you're seeing, there's a demand zone. There's an order block. All right. So price is most likely not going to sell from that fair value gap. All right. It's most likely quite desperate. All right. Maybe almost desperate enough for it to break through the fair value gap until it's able to approach a very solid region that has swept liquidity, which in that case is the other block. All right. Okay, beautiful. So, thank you so much, guys. It's been one complete hour of sharing valuable insights with you guys. We've talked about the ECTs, we've talked about points of interest, we've talked about so many amazing and fantastic things that I think that you guys can begin to apply in your trading to get even better results. All right. And I also already mentioned that next week, Monday, I am not going to be having this session with you guys because next week, Monday, my session is going to be with the VIP clients, all right, VIP clients of FBS as a firm, all right, as a trading broker. So there's an in-house community that has been created for me to be able to tutor them, all right, and take them through the financial markets trading, all right, respond to their questions and all of that. So that's basically how it's going to work. So next week, Monday, I will not be here, all right, still probably 2 weeks time, all right. So just keep doing what you do best, all right? Keep making the most out of the financial markets, ensuring that your risks are as minimal as possible and your profits as wide as possible. How do I use my risk management? I'm sorry, that's not something that I can explain in 2 minutes. So sorry about that. Esther Babatunde, I cannot add you from this call. If you need to be added, you need to send me your details on Instagram, the Adetola Freeman. All right, send me your details on Instagram, and I will be able to forward it to the appropriate departments so that they can look into your account and check if you qualify to be there. All right. So Prince Kalu, your question too can be answered or sent to my Telegram, Instagram DMs. All right. The Adetola Freeman is the name. So till when next I come across you guys, till when next I come, for a session like this, or probably the NFP session next week Friday. All right. I want you guys to stay well, stay fed. All right. Keep enjoying, and God bless you guys. Thank you so much for an amazing session. Goodbye and have a fantastic and profitable trading week. Bye-bye.